Hi everyone, I'm Jody Hand, Mrs. Hand Painted, and I am back after a long break of making videos. I finally have a quiet house with both kids in school at the moment, and my husband is not at home working from home as he usually is, making lots and lots of noise. So I finally have some quiet time to myself and I can get back into some painting and making paint too. So along with making paint, I love to make watercolor kits for you guys to try out my paints and learn a couple new techniques as well. So this new set is not a new set technically. I did have it out last year in the fall, and this is a new kit that features the sweater weather handmade paints that I have in my collection. It's a set of 6 colors that are all in fall hues and really great for doing some florals or some little quick fall cards for Thanksgiving, Halloween, things like that. So this little tutorial that I brought to you is just a little floral postcard. This kit is going to include samples of all 6 colors of the sweater weather set. You're going to get 2 of these Etchr 100% cotton postcards in the kit. And you'll also get full color instructions if you want to follow along with the video, as well as some pictures and descriptions of some of the techniques I used. So without further ado, here is the tutorial. And if you want to check out some of my other handmade paints, you can find them all on my website at mrshandpainted.com. And make sure you follow me on Instagram for all the latest updates on my shop, Mrs. Hand Painted on Instagram as well. And thanks for sticking with me, and I hope you enjoy this little floral tutorial, and have a great day, guys. I'll just go over my supplies here to start. I have my brushes, and I'm going to be using a round 4 and a round 6. These are from Princeton Brushes, the Velvet Touch series, and I got the round 4 and 6. I've got a nice little brush cloth here from one of my friends on Instagram that I'll link for you. It's her arts and crafts. And I've got 2 paint water cups, one for cleaning my brush out of the paint and then one for getting clean water. And these are made by Lisa Alden Art. She's from New Mexico, a great ceramic artist. I've got a little paint palette that's actually a spoon rest that I got from a local potter here in the Midwest, Sarah Coaster of Coaster Pottery. I just met her at the Vintage and Made Fair at the Dallas County Fairgrounds here in Iowa. I've got my handmade watercolor paint from Mrs. Hand Painted here, my own handmade watercolors. And this is the sweater weather set that will be restocked here. So if you are purchasing the kit, you've obviously got it already. So here we've got 6 colors, the red plum, pumpkin pie, straw, olive, denim, and acorn, and they're all in the oxides family, so there's going to be some opacity to them. The denim is going to have some granulation, so they're all going to be a little bit more opaque, so not as transparent as some of my other colors, but this is a really great fall set, and we're going to paint a really cute little floral postcard here. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'm just going to use my round 6 to get started, and I'm going to start out with this Acorn color, which is a burnt umber. And I just kind of have some of the colors mixed up on my little palette here. I'm going to start out by making some kind of rough, almost oval shapes, but are pointed at the ends for the tops of my flowers. I'm going to kind of cluster them somewhat close together in the center. We'll do 3, and these will be some little black-eyed Susan flowers. So I'm going to rinse that out in my left cup so that I can get the paint off, and then I'll get clean water from my right cup. And I'm just going to let that sit for a second. I'm going to get some of the straw, which is a yellow ochre. Get a bunch of that up on my palette here. And if you want to tape your card down, I guess I didn't mention these are Etchr postcards. Sorry about that. All right, so I'm still using my round 6, and I'm going to apply very little pressure at the beginning, and then as I make my petal, I'm going to press down, and then I'll lift up so that I get that petal shape. I'll just kind of go around along the bottom to make my petals. And if you want to go back and touch any of them up afterwards, you can do that too. And it's all right if you get a little bit of bleeding from your brown, because I think that looks kind of neat. If you don't want it to bleed, then you just wait for your brown to dry before you go and put your petals in. Then I'm just doing some little short ones near the top. That'll be like the back of the flower. I'll go ahead and do that again. So start with little pressure and then press down very gently and then release the pressure to get that point at the end. That is a giant petal there. Whoops. It's all right. And then we'll just add some little ones toward the back. And they're all just kind of blending together here. It's a bunch of flowers. And if you've watched some of my other postcard videos, you know that just don't take it too seriously. I just want it to be a quick little fun postcard, not some serious painting. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and just start working on the next flowers. I'm gonna switch over to my round 4 just so I can get a little bit smaller of a brush. And I'm gonna get some of the red plum. And I'm just adding in the flowers first. We'll add in all the leaves and the stems after we get our flowers in place. All right, so I got some of this red plum here. And I'm gonna make some kind of, I don't know, they're kind of like an amaranth maybe, some other little flowers that you'd see in the fall. And I'm gonna make these tiny little squiggles, just almost like little circles. And start out at like a point and then make your way down and get wider as you go. I'm just kind of surround my little black-eyed Susans with them. I'm just making like little squiggle movements, like almost like little circles sometimes. You can do some little dabs in there. Let's see. And I'm also going to do that with the pumpkin pie color. Mix it up and do some different shades. I'm just making little squiggle shapes. And we can even go ahead and mix some other colors together here. Maybe I want to do more of a purple color. So I could take a little bit of that denim and add it to the red plum and we can get kind of a deep violet color. And maybe we'll do maybe kind of like a cone flower type of a flower here. So I can just kind of make, we'll go like a little circle just to give me a point. And then from that, we can kind of just sweep out from. And then we get kind of like cornflower, not coneflower, sorry. Or kind of like bachelor buttons type of a flower here. We'll do one here too. All right, well now we can go back in and add some of our foliage, and I'm going to use this olive green. And we're going to mix in some of the denim and the straw just to give us different shades of green throughout. And that's giving us such a pretty granulation there on that with the mix of the denim and the red plum. Look at that purple kind of separating out a little bit. We'll just do some really thin stems coming down, and I don't want it to cross in front of my yellow flowers, so I'll just have it imaginary line going through. And we'll do some really thin kind of grassy type pieces coming out, and you can just kind of randomly put them all around and just do some quick strokes up and down. All right, now I'm going to add a little bit of the denim to my olive just to give it a little bit of a darker green. And we'll go down from our black-eyed Susan type flower here. Make some stems, just kind of coming through there. And then we'll do some leaves. So for these, I want to have some that kind of turn downwards. So I can start out with a very light pressure and then coming down to the side. So you can go up and then down, up and then down. And then where you could go up. Maybe have some leaves coming out from this way. Just kind of fill in with different random leaf shapes. And then we'll add some stems. We're gonna add a little straw color to my green mixture here and just make a different shade of green. And maybe I come through the center of my flowers here. And these ones could have some big leaves like this. I'm just going to add some leaf shapes, quick strokes here just to fill in, make it look really lush. And just any spot you think has got a little too much white space, you could just put a little quick stroke in there to fill in. All right, super simple little flowers. Makes a really cute little postcard. If you want to pick up a set of sweater weather for yourself, you can buy the kit on my website. There's also other sizes available. We can get the deluxe sample pans, which are a little bit bigger than these, the quarter pans and half pan sets.